It gives ample time. Yeah.
That's my advice.
Let me also ask you about some of the other issues that the government is grappling with. There are all kinds of ideas at this point in time on how the government ought to address the crisis that the banking sector is faced with, the NPA issues. A large part of that goes back to the UPA's tenure. A large part of the NPA problem is linked to that. But if you were in North Block today, how would you like to address the NPA issue?
This is not the first time that the NPA problem has come up. In fact, it was more acute twice before. Once, I think, in 1997-98, and again, I think, in about 2011-12. We didn't create a scare about NPA. We empowered bankers, called the bankers and told them, you gave the loan, you recover the loan. They will do it. What they have done is scared the bankers out of their wits. Nobody wants to settle anything. Nobody wants to sell distressed assets. Nobody wants to enter into compromises or write-offs. Because, as one officer told me, one banker told me, they're afraid of the 3 or 4 C's.
The CVC, the CBI, and
CBI,
yes,
and
the CAG.
CAG, and one more, he said.
Courts.
I mean, this is not the way to run banks. I think they created an unnecessary scare, and they're paying the price for.
But the scare hasn't been created by the government. I mean, you know, you've written extensively about why there isn't credit offtake. I mean, banks are saddled with NPAs. They're not willing to lend, given the fact that, you know, they're troubled at this point in time. So how does one break through this vicious circle?
That's for the government to come up with solutions. They are in government. They think they know the answers. Let them suggest answers. But I can say categorically that the way they approached the NPA problem was a wrong way. Raghuram Rajan cautioned them. I said, if you look at every transaction, he said, if you look at every banking transaction, every loan as criminal or suspect, that will be the end of both lending and entrepreneurship. Anyway, you're riding a tiger, now dismount it from the tiger or tame the tiger.
Since you're giving your advice on the GST, you know, what is your prescription on how to deal with this problem? I know it's for the government to decide. They've set up an oversight committee. They may perhaps strengthen or empower the oversight committee further. We don't know if there will be any changes to the Banking Regulation Act, as is being suggested at this point in time. But, you know, what could the changes perhaps be to try and...
That's the worst idea. Setting up that bureau, what is it called?
The Banks Board Bureau. It's already in existence.
That is the worst idea you can have.
Why?
You set up a bureau over the banker, over the chairman and the managing director, and that bureau will resolve every issue. Everybody will kick it up to the bureau. Why would the chairman and managing director take responsibility?
But isn't it
I have said that the BBB is a bad idea, and I think a future government will come and rescind it.
But to be fair, Mr. Chidambaram, one of the problems, and you alluded to it yourself, is that bankers are apprehensive and hesitant to take any decision for the fear of the 4 Cs.
As of now, they will take a decision.
For the 4 Cs, but maybe the Banks Board Bureau or the Oversight Committee provides the requisite political cover.
So why don't they take the decisions then? What decision have they taken in the last several months?
So you believe that, do you believe that there are amendments to the law that are required to deal with NPAs?
No, must change your attitude to NPAs. There will be NPAs when there's an economic downturn. But then, as the economy comes out of a downturn, many of those loans will be repaid. You'll have to hold your hand to the non-criminal borrower. Criminal borrower, deal with them under law. But in the eyes of this government, every borrower who is defaulted as a criminal.
No, but there seems to be a tendency for us to be repeating the same mistakes over and over again. You yourself said that this is not the first time that we've seen an acute NPA. Whether you scared somebody or not is a different story, but maybe you ought to have scared people so that we wouldn't just see a repeat of the NPA problem.
Because we did not scare people, we resolved those problems.
How are they resolved if they keep getting added on, sir?
It will be. If there's another economic downturn 10 years down the line, there will be NPAs again. You think that we can lick the NPA problem forever? There will be an NPA when there's a downturn. The real problem is the economy is still in a trough. Despite the dazzle of the numbers they throw at us, The economy is not growing. Let me repeat, the economy is not growing. I've given numbers for 2 years.
Yeah. You've given
Your
numbers on IIP.
IIP number,
Yeah.
credit growth number, and jobs number.
Yes.
The economy is not growing. When the economy is not growing, it is either stagnant or it is still struggling to come out of a trough. And this is the wrong time to expect that every NPA will get resolved. Anyway, I mean, I'm not giving them free advice. I mean, let them come up with solutions.
One or the other.
Our record of resolving NPAs is far superior to the current government's record.
How is it far superior,
Look
sir?
at the record.
But we're dealing with NPAs that have existed during your tenure.
You're wrong, and I'm afraid I may have to say you're biased.
Why would I be
Look at
biased?
I don't know why you're biased. Look at the numbers. Look at the NPA level when we handed over the government in 2014. Every year it is mounted. What about new NPAs? Who's responsible for new NPAs? How long can you condone a government which keeps saying this is a legacy issue? Will they say it after 5 years? They're elected to a new term, they'll still say it's a legacy issue? This is rubbish. You are in government. You have to deal with the problem. You have selected the chairman and the managing directors. You have selected the BBP. Find a solution. But all I can say is that the approach that this government has adopted to NPAs is wrong. Talk to any businessman, he will endorse what I tell you.
Okay, you're saying that the economy continues to be shaky, and you've given several reasons.
You challenge my number.
No, I'm saying you've given several reasons for that, and of course you've given us the IIP data and the gross fixed capital formation data, etc.
And the credit growth data.
And the credit growth data.
In 2 years, net bank credit is increased by 7,413 crore in 2 full years. That I believe, I don't know, I've not looked at any past 2-year period very closely. That I believe is the lowest increase in a 2-year period.
You're talking about not enough jobs being created. You're talking about the economy continuing to what you believe is struggle. And yet this government is winning election after election. How do you explain that?
Yes, because they're polarizing the voters. A large number of people still believe and still want to give the benefit of doubt to the Prime Minister. They said demonetization has put an end to black money. What is the money that was distributed in RK Nagar? Is it white money? They said demonetization has put an end to counterfeit currency. What about the 2,000 rupee notes that are being unearthed practically every day? For I think this government still enjoys broad support. Good luck to them.
Broad would be an understatement, sir, given the results that we've just seen in the state elections.
Well, they all lost Goa. They lost Manipur.
They're in government in Goa.
They lost Punjab.
They're in government in Goa.
So was Akhilesh Yadav in government in UP.
But they're in government in Goa. I mean, you can keep talking.
You wanted examples of why you were biased. This is an example of bias.
But this is a fact, sir. They're in government in Goa.
So was Akhilesh Yadav in government in UP. If the Goa vote was an anti-incumbency vote, equally you can call the UP vote an anti-incumbency vote. But I won't. The UP vote was a broad support vote to Mr. Narendra Modi. But equally you must take it as the Goa vote was an anti-vote to Mr. Modi. The Manipur, they put all their forces there, yet they were number 2. They manipulated and found their way to form a government. All right, maybe we were not smart enough. But
you acknowledge and admit the fact that you were not smart enough or not even fast enough.
Yes,
there didn't seem to be an effort to even want to stake claim to form government.
Because we did not appoint those 2 governors. We did not appoint those 2 governors. And we did not know that the governors believed that the fastest pair of feet to Raj Bhavan will become the chief minister.
But surely there should have been a sense of urgency within the Congress camp.
That's not the law.
No, but surely there should have been.
That's not the law.
The
Do you know the law?
No, I'm not talking about whether I know the law or not, sir, but this is...
You must know the law.
Sure.
The law is,
yes,
unless there is a pre-poll alliance, the single largest party must be invited. It is on that basis Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee is invited. Therefore, the law is the governor was bound to invite the single largest party. The governor of both states played according to the direction of the
why did the Congress give up so easy?
What's there to give up? You have sworn in a government. What are you supposed to do? We have protested. We have raised our voice. And I don't think the people of Manipur and Goa are fools. it will remain in their memory that they have a government today which did not win the election.
You know, let's focus on the Congress party, sir. And
No, let's focus on the economy.
Okay, I'll focus on the economy. Link
you
that,
are on a business channel.
Link that
and
to
this
the
interview
Congress.
was for GST.
Sure. Let me link the economy.
No, focus on GST and economy issues.
I'm focusing on the economy, sir. What is the position of the Congress party?
I decline to answer any questions except GST.